Yep, don't matter.
And there I was, a brand spanking new freshman university student, and before my eyes was an innumerable list of anime on my plan to watch, far surpassing my allotted free time. In each and every one of them I could see a door towards escapism I would surely regret. And the one I chose was...
運命に結ばれた2人が立場、年齢、性別を超えて結ばれるラブロマンスだ。
それはまた変なものになりそうですね。
話すんだ赤さん。
For some context, Tatami Galaxy was released in the late 2000s, the best era of anime. However, this is not my first show from this director. The beautiful Masaki Yuasa, who dresses exactly how you'd expect, has had a strange filmography. Most of his shows have ranged from becoming critically acclaimed to cult classics. My intro towards Yuasa was with Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, another show that I wholly recommend, and it has many similar animation devices and beats that make both shows amazing in my opinion. Tatami Galaxy, on the other hand, had been sitting on the back burner, partly because I was too busy watching other shows, and from what I had heard it seemed like a spooky, serious commentary on college life, and that seemed a bit too much for my
Goopy Goblin gamer brain
at the time. Now, having started accumulating my college debt and wasted opportunities, it sounded like a great time to watch it. After finishing the show, I was left pondering its teachings and regretting why I didn't watch it earlier. Why had I spent so much time watching shitty anime when I could have been watching good anime? Surely, it was the cause of endless mindless Reddit threads, and had I been in contact with better influences, I would be ostracized in 3x3 threads no longer. I was truly fated to never get any views, and maybe if I had chosen differently, I would be based. So I'm here telling you why you shouldn't make my mistake and watch Tatami Galaxy right now if you haven't. My personal favorite aspect of Galaxy is its confident use of art style and color palette, with the former being through often use of real-life imagery, contrasting with the already abstract animation, with it somehow finding a way to actually complement each other instead of clashing or seeming too distracting. The best example for this is near the end, where the plot and animation goes further and further into surreal or meta territory. The live-action fragments serve to break the wall or bridge the gap between the anime and the viewer to further connect the point it's trying to make, almost blurring the line between animation and real life. To further push this point, the opening is almost an entire shot of the camera moving through the apartment much of the anime takes place in. On the other hand, the color palette and Tatami Galaxy's general use of color is brilliant, not shy towards covering entire scenes with just one color to either create an emotion or elevate the existing ones. The colors that are used are always showing something that can be deciphered, but are never too one-dimensional. For example, purples and pinks can be indicators for love or foreboding doom. Usages of red being for hatred or passion, and greens and yellows can be indicators for inner rottenness. And not to say it just saturates the frame to keep it busy, it even plays around with the absence of color in scenes of emotional bleakness or clarity. The beautiful Masaki Yuasa, who probably is a vegan or drinks virgin blood, I don't know, has shown a great command of color in both adding to the story or just making a scene look good. I love deciphering shows that just make me feel like a little smarty Marty pants, and with how the story gets you to look back on previous scenes, it really adds to that type of enjoyment. Everything's connected, and some of those connections are only found in the animation. And even for general enjoyment, it also has several moments of general beauty to fuel that
Goopy Goblin gamer brain.
And as for the hints left behind through each use of color, they want to be found, and Tatami Galaxy awards the viewer for finding them by increasing the impact of the more emotional scenes throughout the show.
あの時他のサークルを選んでいれば私はもっと別の2年間を送っていただろう。幻の手法と言われるバラ色のキャンパスライフを手に握っていたかもしれない。
On a short tangent on the music, it has been playing through this video so far. Just like the animation, it perfectly fits the dialogue-heavy style of Tatami Galaxy whilst remaining mostly low-key, though on its own it also has a simple beauty that can carry the same emotions by itself. And as for the other parts of audio, the voice acting is sublime with distinct voices for each character and a sound design that does nothing but add to the quality of the show. I know that's not really saying much, but it's good, I promise you, and it would have been weird to not mention it at all.
あれ、二人とも知り合いなんだ。なんだかよくわからないけど。君いけるね。
安全牌ですが。
Without anything supporting the visuals on the substance side, I might as well be recommending Weathering with you. But there's nothing to worry over, as the beautiful Tomohiko Morimi, who definitely seems like a totally normal person, has written a multifaceted, colorful cast of characters in one of the most interesting ways to tell an amazing retrospective coming-of-age story. And that might sound like I'm just filling up a word count, but I can explain. I hated some of the characters at first, as intention of the writing, as it was for who they were, not for how they were written. I later realized that how they were written worked beautifully with the story, as it allowed the repeating of events to show different perspectives, different relationships, and unraveled the stereotypes they were initially shown as. Another way to describe it is as a character arc where not much happens, but by the end everything changes about the character, specifically from the viewer's eyes. And actually, about what I said earlier, calling it a coming-of-age story is sort of a disservice, as I think Tatami Galaxy's story is better seen less as adjusting to adulthood, but as therapy and assurance to choices and events in one's life. And I also believe this makes it more relatable to more age groups, maybe even resulting in greater emotional investment the older someone is when watching. The episodic structure may seem gimmicky at first glance, but it divides itself enough, plus has plenty of tricks connecting the details between the timelines that keep things fresh. And the build-up of all that information is even into its final moments, it never stops, and the payoff is immensely satisfying. I've mostly avoided talking about what exactly the payoff is, as it's the ending. And the journey the story takes the viewer on its short 11-episode runtime is what makes this anime and gets it to stick even years after. It truly is masterclass, both in terms of building up intrigue and retaining rewatchability, and I'm no doubt gonna be watching it several more times over the years.
さて、どうしたものか。
どうだっていいんじゃね？
This is how you eat a Big Mac.
If in life you find yourself at an important crossroads, one that would decide your future, or the opposite, reminiscing about the events or decisions that defined your past, and maybe regretting them, Tatami Galaxy definitely offers insight about handling those points in life. Definitely not a be-all answer, but enough of a nudge in the right direction, hopefully. It understands that an anime isn't going to change someone's life so easily, but still puts the ball in one's court to maybe start the process. Or maybe it doesn't. Even without looking for some prophecy, inshallah, beautiful Masaaki Yuasa have my babies type of message, the story Watashi goes through is a blast to sit through and experience. Also, it's great for fueling that
Goopy Goblin.
Wacky slut.
So get off your ass, stop playing video games, and check Tatami Galaxy out.
ないです自由飛行部門ですから
Hi there, thanks for staying till the end. This is my first video, so if you enjoyed it any, feel free to like or subscribe. It would mean a lot and encourage me to make more videos. Thank you.